good. We're back. Black Freckles Sports Show. We're in the building. A lot of things going on in the NBA playoffs in the sports world. You know what I was thinking would be a dope intro? Like when we came on, if it had like the Chicago Bulls music from back in the day.
That shit would be clean.
I ain't seen a sports podcast that had that on it yet. Well, what's today? Friday. Okay. I got a new job, so I look forward to Fridays, man.
I was about to say, how you don't know what day it is, dog?
I used to never know because I ain't had no job for so long. I never knew, boy. It's Saturday every day, man.
Dog, when Friday come around, boy, hey, I'm a new nigga on Fridays, bro. I'm ready to take on the world on Friday.
Got a burst of energy and shit.
Word.
All right, man. So as far as sports goes, I'm going to ask you the most obvious question that there is to ask on this Friday. Are the Celtics going to come back and win this series?
I don't think so. But if they're the number one team, they have the ability to. They have the talent to. But I just don't think at this point with the games that they lost already that they can overcome that. They play good, but I don't see them overcoming the deficit.
Okay, if they win Game 6 in Miami, Game 7 back in Boston, do they win it? I think it's 3 teams in the history of being down 0-3 out of 150 came back and forced the Game 7. But none of them won. This Boston team, they have a chance of winning if they push it to a Game 7.
They can. And you know what? I just found out that Gabe Vincent's hurt.
Yeah. But I seen Tyler Hero hooping yesterday before the game.
Tyler Hero, they said he's cleared for something, but he's not cleared for like physical activity yet.
Yeah. It seemed like they're going to have to make the finals for him to have a chance of playing.
Right. So I don't think he plays in this series. So yeah, no, I don't think that Boston is going to beat them. Okay. I was looking at the game last night and I started to say, are they going to come back and win this? And it just makes me say, I don't see how you sweep a team that had you down 0-3. Because that's essentially what you would need to do. Right.
You got to sweep them.
Yeah.
But they won last night by 13 points?
Yeah.
Last night was interesting. Jason Tatum, he did all right. I think he shot 50%, 8 for 16, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was 8 for 16, 1 for 6 from 3. That ain't shit. But your boy, what's his name? Derek White?
Yeah.
He went off.
Derek White had one of them games.
Yeah, he couldn't miss. He do that enough. They got a shot.
How many times are you expecting Derek White to have the highest amount of points on your team? Jaylen Brown, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum had 21. He had 24. I'm not counting on him doing that again.
Him and Marcus Smart led the team.
Word. Like if it happens, cool. I'm not counting on it though.
Yeah, I mean he shot 6 of 8 from 3, and Marcus Smart shot 4 of 6 from 3.
Yeah, Marcus Smart had one of his redemption games because they was definitely talking crazy on his name for these past couple games. Yeah,
I mean I was. But I don't change my stance. But they didn't really get shit from their bench. Williams had 6 points. Williams had 6 points. The power forward Williams and the center Williams both had 6. And that was pretty much all they really got from the bench. On Miami side, Jimmy Butler only had 14 points and shot 5 of 10. You do that, you're going to lose. Jimmy Butler has to win these games by himself sometimes. And that's a lot.
100%. And you can't win the game no matter how good the rest of the team is playing. I don't think you win that game 14 points and 5 and 5. Like those are not Jimmy Butler numbers. We need at least 6 to 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
We need about
25 points.
We need about 25 points, bro.
Yeah. You need 25 points. And the 25 points is if everybody else don't just ball. You know what I'm saying? He needs 25 and some help.
Right. Bam Adebayo can't be the second best scorer with 16 points.
Right. Man, I don't think it's that crazy to say that they can come back and win this series. Like, I wouldn't put no money on it or nothing.
No, it's not crazy because anything can happen, and we've seen that. That's why it's not crazy. But I just don't believe in it because we haven't seen that. Nah.
And I've been on that train the whole playoffs. I got to go by what's already been happening.
Yeah.
And now it's 0 and 150 since the Lakers got done up. So it's not 0 and 149. It's 0 and 150 teams that was down 0-3. So it's hard to say we finna see a team come back from 0-3 when like 0-150. That had to be like some motherfucker went down before we was born.
Yeah.
Before we was born and didn't come back.
150, yeah, nah. I don't see it happening, man.
I feel it. I want to say I see it happening, but I don't. So before we got on here, we said we wasn't going to talk about the Lakers, but then I told you about a ridiculous trade that I seen them talking about on Undisputed yesterday, which was sign and trade D'Angelo Russell, Hachimura, and a first round pick for just Kyrie Irving.
Ass.
I hate it. Who do people think Kyrie Irving is?
They know him as the guy. They know him as the guy who won with LeBron James. I think that's the idea behind all this, right? He's the guy who played with LeBron and won with LeBron James. So if anybody could do it again, it's Kyrie. Okay, is that who the Lakers think he is, or is that who the public thinks he is? Like, it might be both.
Respect.
It might be both.
I think that's a horrible trade. But it's mainly a horrible trade is because Kyrie is a free agent.
Yeah.
Why am I giving up anything for you?
Right.
Do you want to play here or not?
Yeah. If you want to play here, come hoop. Like,
yes.
We're not about to chase Kyrie.
No. And it's like, and if you want to play here for real, just take less money.
Yeah. Because they're not finna pay him crazy money either. Like, come on.
You're Kyrie Irving, bro. You're rich. You didn't got paid a couple of seasons. You ain't even play.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, you and LeBron could do what Shaq and Kobe never got to do. Squash y'all beefs while y'all can still play. Get back together and see if y'all can rekindle y'all old flame and be what y'all once was, which we both know is a hard task.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they won't be. Right? Like they cannot be who they once was. First of all, LeBron's not that anymore.
No.
And Kyrie can still ball. I don't know if like the level of his game has diminished at all within the past 2 or 3 years, but he just doesn't play enough for me. Like, I know before when he was in Cleveland, I couldn't count on Kyrie sitting out a game for any reason.
Right.
Now it's kind of like whatever reason.
He don't even give a reason.
I'm just sitting out tonight, coach. What you want me to do?
Bro, the new age of the NBA is something else. And it makes me say, how could they not be like this? Like, they get paid so much money. And when we say, oh, well, Kyrie didn't come and he didn't even give the team a reason and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, how many times have you called out to your job and didn't give them a reason or gave them a lie as a reason? At the end of the day, it is not crazy for none of these guys to view this as a job.
Absolutely.
And we don't view that. We don't look at it like that enough. Like, this is a job today. You think that, hell, LeBron, you think KD, you think Kyrie, you think they want to play 82 games a year?
No.
Why would they? Why would they? Especially a team that would know they going to the playoffs or a team that know they not going to the playoffs.
I understand it completely. Like, I don't even complain about load management no more. Like, my pops and shit, they niggas be like, oh, they always sitting down. They always, man, maybe Mike and them should have sat their ass down too.
Yes. Like, because Charles Barkley, I heard him talking recently, and he said his first, 4-year contract that he got from the NBA, he made $2 million, right? Now, mind you, that is a shit ton of money, and it was a shit ton of money back then. But $2 million isn't enough to say, man, I can just really chill if I want.
Right.
Like, somebody like Zion could retire today. And be done and be good for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't have to work no more. He has generational wealth. $2 million is not generational wealth. Well, $2 million is like, you good.
Yeah, word.
You know what I'm saying? If you had $2 million, I couldn't be like, man, Cam, dog, pay off my house for me. It's like, my nigga, how much you owe? I'm like, oh, like 300,000. You like, ugh. But if you had 210 million, and I say, hey, Cam, pay off my house. You say, how much is it? I say 300,000. All right. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So it's different, bro. So I don't even know how to judge these guys. That's why it's crazy that LeBron played for so long and stuff like that. It's tough to judge these guys. And then what they have to go through to do their job, it's a hateable job.
Yeah. That's why I don't judge them too much, bro. Like,
Nah.
they got families. A lot of them, they either had to move around from all over the place. So like, these dudes is not able to live normal lives on the regular. So it's like, the minute that they can, what am I to say against that?
Facts. I think these guys love basketball. I don't think they love being in the NBA.
Right.
And it's a very not lovable thing. It's very not lovable. If you don't win the championship, there's going to be a point in time where everybody talking shit about you because y'all lost. And like Kyrie got on the internet the other day and was like, hey, can y'all just not say my name when it comes to these trade rumors and these free agency? He was like, the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals still going on. Like, talk about them. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about where he was like, y'all will know where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do when I know. And he said, and that'll be in a few months. Like right now, I'm just spending time with my family and stuff like that. And only Kyrie is ridiculous enough to get on the internet and request something like this. But by the same token, he's not crazy. Like if y'all love the NBA, like y'all say y'all love the NBA, then watch the NBA. Why am I trending? I've been eliminated. I didn't even make the playoffs. Why am I trending? You feel me? So I was like, from that standpoint, I get it. And it is annoying and it's lame and it's whack, but you are famous and that's just what comes along with being famous in America. It is what it is. But I don't love that trade. As we spoke about every time I've ever mentioned Kyrie is my favorite player. I would like to see him on the Lakers, but I wouldn't want to see the Lakers give up a lot for Kyrie. What I would really like Kyrie to do, and this is not something that I like to ask players to do, is I would like for Kyrie to just take a huge pay cut to play with the Lakers. It's like sign a 1-year vet minimum type of deal and fuck the Mavericks over and go play with LeBron and AD without them having to lose nothing, where they can try to sign Reeves and Hachimura. To me, that's where the Lakers start. Signing Reeves and Hachimura.
You had me at fuck the Mavericks up. Because fuck that team.
Hey, I'm from Texas, so I cut for the Mavericks, and I like Mark Cuban. But the Mavericks, if they don't sign Kyrie, that was a horrible trade. And also, if they sign Kyrie, they're done.
Yeah.
To me, you cut your losses and let him walk.
Yeah, I think so too.
Or you try to do some kind of sign and trade. But if you do a sign and trade, that means that Kyrie gonna get like a max deal.
From the Lakers?
Or whoever the fuck he go to.
Oh, right.
And you can't give Kyrie a max deal, bro.
I don't think so. It's the same situation with James Harden. I just feel like neither one of those people are worth the max.
No. It's an insane thing to even think to me. It's an insane thing to even think. All right. So if the Celtics do come back and they win this game, this series in 7, do they have any chance of beating the Nuggets?
I think so.
I think they have a better chance than the Heat.
I was just going to say that. I think they look like the better team against the Nuggets than the Heat do. Just because I feel like they have more bodies that they could throw at Jamal Murray. It's one thing about Jokic, but I feel like that's already it. Like between Robert Williams and Al Horford, those are legitimate bodies to put against Jokic. Whereas Bam is just like a power forward who can play a little bit of center.
Right.
Like, I don't know if that's really what you want on Jokic full time, and he still got to get his, right? Like, because the Heat are not that great of a team if Bam is all his energy is on defense and none of it is on the offensive end. He's not getting crashing the glass like he should against players like Jokic and Michael Porter. So it's kind of like, I feel like the Celtics have the team that matches up better with the Nuggets. I
agree with that. Something that has happened with the Nuggets, and the Nuggets have been talking about it, and they should be talking about it, is ain't nobody put no real respect on the Nuggets name. Haven't nobody put no real respect on the Nuggets name. Because if you really start to look at it, bro, if you say, yo, the Nuggets gonna win the championship next year, that wouldn't even be crazy. And you haven't heard nobody say that.
No.
You haven't heard nobody say the Nuggets going to win this year and they're going to win next year. But if you really look at the Nuggets, like, who really could beat them?
You talking about going into the next season?
Yeah. Or whoever wins out of the Miami Heat and the Celtics. Either one of them, like, who really can beat the Nuggets? The Nuggets are deep and they're tall.
Again, I think the Celtics could beat them. I don't think they will.
Me neither.
Like, I don't think that they are this like super juggernaut and unbeatable of a team because, yeah, while they swept the Lakers, they went to 6 games with the Suns.
Yeah.
They went to 6 games to the Suns. Granted, they had KD. They were missing a starting point guard. And for one of those games, 2 of those games, a starting center. So it's like you take those players away and you still take the number 1 team in the entire NBA to 6 games. You're not unbeatable.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. But that's what I mean. That's everyone's take on these guys, and I don't feel like it's warranted. Their take is they're not really that good to me.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. They're a good team. Like, you don't sweep a team and you're not a good team.
But they not that good if you think they beatable and ain't nobody beat them.
I think you gotta have some type of, you know, like you gotta look at it through some type of glasses. Like, hey, these dudes, everybody is beatable. Like once you look at it like everybody is beatable, it becomes a bit more realistic to say that the Denver Nuggets can be beat. Will they be beat? I don't see it. Like I see them beating all the teams in front of them. I just think it's very much possible for these teams to. I can't write Denver off as like a 100% favorite to go right away. They don't have no adversity in their way. They can lose.
All right, check it out. Every year, Vegas puts out the odds for what team is going to win the Super Bowl, what team is going to win the NBA championship. They put it in order, like where you can bet before the season even start. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll be like 20,000 to 1, and you can bet $1. And if that team win the championship, you win $20,000 because that team is the fucking Atlanta Falcons or whoever, right? All right. So let's say the Nuggets rip off a finals appearance and they win. They win the NBA championship. What team do you think that Vegas would put out as the number 1 team to most likely win the NBA championship next year?
If they put it out today?
No, if they put it out right after the Nuggets win the title.
Probably the Nuggets.
Interesting.
Is that not how that works? Because I know Golden State won last year. They weren't favorites to win it, but like once the next season came through, were the Nuggets not the favorite? I mean, excuse me, the Warriors. Were the Warriors?
Oh, I'm sure they weren't. Nah, hell no, it ain't no way they would.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it don't automatically make you the favorite. Like it do if you like the Chiefs and shit. You know what I'm saying? The Chiefs probably favorite. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up the odds to win the Super Bowl in the NFL next year. All right, yeah, the Chiefs. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, the Chiefs have the best odds to win the Super Bowl, and then the Eagles, then the 49ers, the Buffalo Bills, and then the Bengals. But see, it's kind of like what you said though. It's the Chiefs and Eagles first. So, but in football, it's different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In football, if you make it to the Super Bowl, you're gonna be favored the next year. Okay. But in basketball, it's gonna be different. It's different. So, hell, I'll look to see if the odds are out right now for the NBA. We've had the Boston. Boston is favored to win the NBA championship next year.
Next year.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is crazy
they didn't
to
win
me.
It the last time they were there.
Yep.
And then they got a chance to go this year, and it's looking shaky for them again.
Yep. Boston is favored to win the NBA championship already next year. But see, that's the kind of disrespect we putting on the Nuggets. Even Vegas putting it on them. Even Vegas. But like you said, if the Nuggets win it all, you gotta make them favorites to win it all next year.
Yeah.
You got to. But that's crazy to look at. All right, let's see who got the worst odds to win the championship next year. The Raptors, bruh. Really? The Raptors, the Thunder, and the Hawks.
I was about to say, I thought it would be the Thunder, but they close.
Yeah. Yep. That's craziness.
Now, we talking about the Hawks now. Now, I've heard rumors about the Lakers trying to go after Trae Young.
Bro, I heard about a trade of AD for Trae Young straight up. Like, who? Lakers news is too out of control when the season ends for the Lakers. If you trade AD for Trae Young straight up, you crazy.
I don't know, man.
No, bro. You got to give me somebody else with that, bro. No.
Yeah, one's a top 75 player, and one is not.
And one lead the league in turnovers every year. No, bro. You can't trade AD for that. You know I've been on the trade AD bandwagon, but you don't trade him for no short-ass player like Trae Young, bro.
Nah, I'd say maybe Trae Young and Clint Capella. That's a little bit more enticing.
Yeah, you got to give me something else, bro.
Hell, like, maybe Collins and somebody. They don't need any more players like Collins, in my opinion, because I feel like Rui is like a Collins type of player.
I don't think that's crazy. I think Rui, bro, is the truth. If he go to a good team, like another team, like a team like a Boston or a team like a Miami, bruh, he a difference maker to me, man.
Yeah, he is, and I hope he does get that shot. Since he came out of college, I've been kind of like rooting for the boy. Like I want him to do great things.
I never heard of him.
Really?
Till he went to the Lakers.
Oh wow! So yeah, when he came out. I forget what draft that was. It might have been 2019. But I remember when he came out of the draft, I was like, man, this dude looks like he's raw. Like he got that energy. Like he had that upside. I saw that he could make the jumpers. I saw that he was like capable of doing all the Michael Porter Jr. stuff, but he had no injury rap like on him yet. So I was like, you know what? This dude really might be a difference maker. And during the during the All-Star break, before the trade deadline, it was proposed that he could go to the Suns. And I was like, you know what? That wouldn't be a bad thing. It's pre-KD. I was like, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But I'm glad that he is.
Him, man. I don't think a lot of teams can hoop like that.
I think a lot of teams did. It was just that when he was in the Wizards, he wasn't really getting that time to shine because Porzingis was there, and Porzingis already plays like a similar power forward role. He stretches, he's stretch four. He was playing with Kuzma. Kuzma's like another stretch three, damn near, because Kuzma plays the four a lot of times. So it was kind of like. And I want to say Montrez was there at one point. Anyway, it was a lot of people who was just blocking Rui's development over there in Washington. And I just don't think he ever really got that chance to shine like that. But he's always been like, at least on the eye test level, a solid hooper for any team. Interesting.
Yeah. See, now that we do this show, it gives me like an incentive to really look into the regular season of the NBA. Mm-hmm. And it's just because I don't love the regular season of the NBA, man. I just don't. I don't. So if you don't make the playoffs, I don't really know who you are like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's his name? Kid Gilchrist from OKC?
Wait.
No, not Shot. What's the good ass young player?
I know you're talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes, him. Like, I knew he could hoop. But I didn't know he could hoop like that until this year.
Oh, yes, bro.
Like, he could hoop.
Shai is nice.
Yeah, he could hoop.
His cousin nice, too.
For real?
Yeah, Nikhil Alexander, something like that. I think he played for Minnesota or I think he played for Minnesota, but his cousin, they came in at the same time. Because I remember that was a story, like, during the draft. But his cousin's pretty decent, too. Like, they shifty. Like, they just some shifty-ass players. They know how to get to the basket. They can pass. Like, Shai is nice.
He nice. And see, for me, it's like I've been around the game of basketball my whole life. So I don't need to sit and watch every single player and every single team to be able to make a good prediction. I honestly think that might cloud a lot of people's judgment when it comes to predictions. It's why, like, honestly, most of my predictions have been spot on. And it's not because I'm a genius. It's because I literally go off what always happens. You know what I'm saying? It's just like how you said earlier. No, the Celtics aren't going to come back. And I'm thinking like, man, they looking good. They looking good. They looking good. But then it's like, you was down 3-0. You was down 3-0. So I just look at it from that standpoint. And then matchups are really easy to see in the NBA. The matchups are easy. So like, even how we were saying, like, if AD and LeBron match Jamal Murray and Jokic, which we didn't even really think they were going to do, who's gonna be the best ones after those guys? Mm-hmm. And it looked like the Nuggets, even though the Lakers guys were rolling. And I was just like, no, it's got to be the Nuggets, just because y'all played together all year and y'all are the one seed. Your role players should be better than these guys. It just, you know what I'm saying? So from that standpoint is really what I be going off of. But due to the fact that we do this, I would love to really just deep dive and really start looking into some of these guys in the regular season. Like, I bought the version of NBA 2K that came with League Pass, and I didn't even really use it. I was still watching the games on TNT and ESPN. It was like, if you don't play on TNT or ESPN, or you're not playing against the Lakers, I don't really see you like that unless you're really, really good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to start really, really trying to get into the regular season, and this show will give me an excuse to watch the games, because I don't think they're worth watching.
I feel that, and I'm one of those people that once basketball ends, I'm like fiending for it again. Like I'm just damn, when basketball coming back. Like I fuck with football, I fuck with NCAA, but I'm completely cool only paying attention to those once the playoffs start. Basketball, when preseason, after the draft, because it's the draft, I think then preseason or training camp, then preseason. I'm watching all of that. I'm watching the training games in Vegas. Like I'm on all of that shit. I want to see what all the prospects that they talked about during draft night. I want to see how they pan out in the summertime. October 30th and 31st come around, the first game of the season there, I'm there. Like I'm trying to catch the entire opening slate. I'm streaming some games. I got one game on this TV. Like that's how I am when regular season comes around. And I will admit that in the last 2 seasons, I start getting regular season fatigue right around the month before the playoffs.
I was going to say
NBA fatigue, if you will. Like I just get tired of watching these niggas play after a certain point. And then it's just like, all right, well, I see that I'm ready for the playoffs. Like I'm over this. I'm ready for the playoffs to start. And that's usually my barometer.
I love that you're like that because I'm the opposite. Man, I had my damn AirPods not on the whole time. I was wearing them, but I wasn't listening through them till just now. So my audio might be messed up, but we're going to be all right.
Sounds great.
Oh, for sure. So I'm glad that you're like that because I'm the exact opposite. So it's like almost the perfect dynamic because me, like, I look at the NBA playoffs like a new Marvel movie coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? But during the regular season, I'm watching the Christmas Day game. Then I'm watching the game here. I'm watching the game there. Like, I could care less about the regular season for the most part. I'm an NFL guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even a college football guy. Like, I only know the college players because the Jaguars pick early so often. So it's like, all right, let me go look at who probably gonna go third, who gonna go fifth, who gonna go first, because we picked first 2 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at that shit. I'm not no big preseason guy, but I'm gonna watch the starters. Like if I watch a preseason game and they say Trevor Lawrence and them gonna play 1 quarter, Dak and them gonna play 1 quarter, I'll watch the quarter. You feel what I'm saying? But every Sunday I'm on Red Zone channel for 7 hours of commercial-free football. Like I wouldn't miss it for the world. I don't care who I'm dating. I don't care if my daughter's with me. I don't care what's going on. Every Sunday, I'm going to watch 7 hours of commercial-free football, and I can't get enough of it. I'm going to bet on it. I miss football immediately when it's gone. Like, I've been forcing my daughter to become a football fan her whole life. She finally became a football fan this past season, and the Jags happened to be good, and it was over. She was like, man, when does football season come back? I was like, a long time. I said, it don't come back for like 9 months. She was like, for real? I said, yeah, I go through this every year. Like every year. I can't wait. And the NFL season be so short. Like if you think, right, the shit 16 games, 17 games now, right? That's 4 months. Right? And then you add another month for the playoffs. So that's 5 months. So that means every year we go 7 full months. 7 full months with no football. The NBA is not like that because there's so many games.
Yeah.
And then we got so much NBA when the pandemic happened. They like came back like 2 or 3 months after the season ended. Because remember they had that 3-month break. Yeah. And then they didn't. I want to say they played like 72 games that next year. It wasn't even like we gonna play 30 games. Them niggas play like 72 games that next year. Mm-hmm. So we had gotten a lot of NBA period over the last 3 or 4 years. But also the NBA became so predictable during the KD Warriors time. And even honestly, the time LeBron went to the finals like 9 years straight or 8 years straight or whatever the fuck it was. That even became predictable, even though I enjoyed seeing LeBron get to the finals. But it just became predictable. Like 1 year, my homeboy was like, the Cavaliers and the Warriors not going to go to the finals. And I was like, are you serious? He was like, yeah. And then he bet me, bruh, that the Cavaliers nor the Warriors would go to the finals. Neither one of them was going to even make it to the finals, bruh. And they was both down that year in the playoffs in the Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals, but they both came back and won. Yeah. I was like, dog, I'll take that bet any year in the NBA that LeBron or this stacked ass Warriors team ain't going to go to the finals. I was like, shit, I would have bet you both of them going to go. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to give me I'll take that. But now the NBA is not like that. If you gave me 2 teams right now and said, hey, one of these 2 teams got to make it to the finals and I get the other 28 teams or however many, 28 teams, I would be like, hell no. But back then, I would take that. And that kind of soured the NBA for me, how predictable it became during LeBron's run and Steph's run of meeting over and over in the final. And it was whack because they didn't share it. You know what I'm saying? Really just Steph and them won. I know LeBron and them came back from 3-1 and shit, but for the most part, it wasn't a real rivalry. It's just Steph and them won every year. And that was whack to me. And it helped ruin the regular season for me.
Yeah, I can see that because I was similar to that. I was like, fuck the playoffs. Like, I don't care about LeBron and Steph after a while. So I get that completely. But I would say ever since the bubble, it's been a lot more parity.
The bubble that was hooping.
Parity in the NBA.
People always forget that. The bubble, they was hooping.
No, they was. And that's what I mean, though. Like, ever since that, I would say everybody has been hooping at a different level to where expect the same teams to win.
Yeah.
Something switched after that.
I agree. I also have old nigga mind state where I don't remember who said this recently. Dame Dollar said it. I do not like the new NBA and where it is going. And it has a lot to do with what we was talking about earlier, how players make so much money and shit from day one that it's easy to not love it, you know? Because like how we were saying, I won't knock you for not loving being in the NBA, but as a fan, I want you to love it. I want you to die for it as a fan.
Why you say that?
Because that's just what we are as fans, and it's what I came from. Like, when you tell me that Kobe finna go over to the sideline and the trainer finna pop his dislocated finger back into place so he can go get back into the game, that's what I want you to be. You feel what I'm saying? I want you to be like that. I want you to be on some, this mean more to me than anything.
I got that.
Like when I hear Shannon Sharp talk, Shannon Sharp be like, I was a bad boyfriend. I was a bad father. I was a bad brother. I was a bad this. I was a bad this. He said, but I was a hell of a football player. And that's because I dedicated my whole life to this. And to me, that still exists in the NFL, and it's because they don't have guaranteed contracts. And in the NBA, it don't exist because they have guaranteed contracts. And also, the money that they pay the players that are on an NBA team, they pay that same amount of money to the players on an NFL team. But on an NBA team, it's 15 guys. And on an NFL team, it's 53 guys. So if you're a starter in the NBA, you're filthy rich. And if you get that big contract and they cut you, you still get that money. In the NFL, if they cut you, that check stopped coming. So they don't have an incentive to die for the game anymore. They don't. Like someone like Ja Morant is a great example of what's wrong with the NBA. And it's because even if they kick you out of the NBA, you straight for life. You good. And you could just be Ja Morant. You could go on the internet and start talking about basketball or just talking about your life and you'll be straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you good. He could just start a podcast. He's straight. It wasn't like that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So now they don't have to love the game, and it's obvious a lot of them don't. Like, I know you've seen Paul George and them talking about it recently. They were saying that a lot of motherfuckers in the NBA do not love the game.
I didn't see that, but I don't doubt it because we haven't seen another person get their dislocated finger pop back in place. So that's not the NBA anymore.
That's not the NBA anymore. And again, I don't have a problem with it because we have so much more information now to know, hey, that's probably not a good idea for your health-wise in the long run. Probably not a good idea. You know, it's probably not a good idea to play on Monday and Tuesday and then have a day off and then play on Thursday and Friday. If you don't do this, you might play 5 more years. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We have information to say that's probably not a good idea. So I don't think they're crazy for not doing it. And then on top of that, they're not hurting for the money. So why would I play with a dislocated finger? What do I get from this? You know what I'm saying? So I get all of it. I get the reasoning, but that don't stop it from being the reality. The reality is they don't love it like they did when I was coming up. And that takes away from the game a bit. Mm-hmm. And I don't like and I feel the same way for the NFL. I don't like all the rule changes that make it easier to score and harder to play defense. I hate all of that.
Yeah, I do too.
I hate all of it. I hate it with a passion.
I feel like they're actively combating the rule changes, and they usually add another rule. Like when they got rid of the take foul. I like that they got rid of that.
Me too. Me too.
They're talking about getting rid of flops, or not getting rid of flops, but rewarding the other team with free throws if they can rule something as a flop.
They need to do that.
And that's what I'm saying.
Because flopping existed in the old NBA, but not like today.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. There's some things that they're combating that are actively making basketball a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun to watch. But you're right. Yeah. They have taken some stuff away that is just like, bro, you're making it way too easy for motherfuckers to put up 120 a game because you just want to see a high scoring game.
Bruh, and then on top of that, I feel like it's an ulterior motive for why you want to see a high-scoring game. I feel like you want to see a high-scoring game for like fantasy football and fantasy basketball and betting on the games and shit like that. That's what I feel. And I also feel like you want to see people break records and you want to make it where the fans are just, they're always getting something, and it's like you're almost rigging the game in a way.
100%.
And I don't love it, bro. Like I heard Adam Silver recently talking to, I think it was Charles Barkley now, and he was saying like in the late 2000s, like the late 90s and the early 2000s, I'm sorry, that the game had just become too physical. And he was basically saying that you can make a big, strong guy can make it to where they win over a really talented basketball guy. I feel like he was referring to Shaq, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it sounded like that.
Yeah, I feel like he was referring to Shaq. Basically saying just because he's bigger and stronger, he can go out and beat a team that's more skilled. And they didn't want it to be like that. He said, but now it's not physical enough. And they trying to sprinkle back some of that physicalness into the game, or physicality, I think it would be the word. And I'm like, yes, get a little bit more of that physicality back into the game to the point where, like we saying, if I hard foul you, but I didn't really, I'm not aiming to hit you in the head, that can't be 2 free throws in the ball, bro.
Yeah. I was just going to say that's one of the other rules that they need to go back and look at. They got to look at flagrants.
I agree.
That's one thing I want to see revised in the next season. I want to see the rules for flagrants revised because, like you said, a lot of that shit just did not make sense.
It does.
Motherfuckers clearly going for a block, and because I swiped down and I hit his ear, you giving him the ball
in 2 shots. I don't like that.
Yeah, man.
I don't like that.
They got to revise.
Yes. And I told you it's the same thing in the NFL I hate, where it's like you can't put your weight on the quarterback when you sack him. Like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm a 300-pound grown-ass man running at somebody to slam him on the ground, and I can't put my weight on them?
Running very fast at that. Like, these motherfuckers is not running slow to get the quarterback. Right. They're running at full speed, faster than a lot of normal people, because even the biggest person on the football field is running faster than the average human. So it's kind of like you got somebody running at full speed at you with carrying 300 pounds. The rules of momentum and physics just don't allow for you to not put your entire weight on somebody once you hit them.
And my goal is to grab you and put you on the ground. Yes, you feel me?
Yes.
So it's like, if you say you can't grab them and sling them around anymore like in wrestling, I'm cool with that. But I can't put my weight on you is insane. And also, I don't care what nobody says, a lot of the helmet-to-helmet hits are insane. Like, to me, you can tell if a helmet-to-helmet hit is egregious. You know what I'm saying? Like I was explaining before, if I'm the running back and you coming to tackle me and I duck to try to spin or something, and my head wasn't there when you first launched into your tackle and you hit me helmet-to-helmet, that's an inadvertent. And when you call stuff like that, I feel like it get a referee too much control of the game. Yeah. If I can call a flagrant whenever I want, I can call a roughing the passer whenever I want, I can call a helmet to helmet whenever I want. They could already call holding whenever they want it. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit extreme. I don't like it, man. It makes it where it's too easy to score. And I feel like me and you talked about this. Like back in the day, there wasn't no regular player that would score 55 or 60 points in the game. Now there's some regular guys that can score 55 or 60 points in the game. You know what I'm saying? When you had guys coming off the bench like Manu Ginobili or Jamal Crawford that would score 40 or 50 points, it was because they were Manu Ginobili and Jamal Crawford. You know what I'm saying? To me, anybody could score 50 points in an NBA game today. Like Donovan Mitchell scored 71 points in the game, bro.
Donovan Mitchell ain't no slouch, though.
Come on, bro. His career high is higher than Jordan, LeBron. You name him. His career higher than everybody but Wilt Chamberlain and Kobe. You can argue that Wilt Chamberlain or Kobe is the best player of all time, the best scorer player of all time, whatever. The something of all time, you can argue Wilt Chamberlain or Kobe or that. Yeah. You can't pick nothing to say that Donovan Mitchell is arguably that of all time. And the same thing goes for Devin Booker. They're good. They're good. But never ever will you be able to. Never ever. The only thing you might be able to argue with, never ever. You won't even be able to argue that Devin Booker is the best Phoenix Sun of all time. Never ever, bruh.
Why you won't be able to argue that?
He'll never be like Charles Barkley, bruh. He'll never be what Charles Barkley was, bruh.
Oh my God.
Charles Barkley MVP, at least. I think Charles Barkley won MVP.
No, he does.
He won MVP and he took his team to the finals.
But if Book gets either one MVP or one championship,
which he never will. There's a better chance he get a championship than MVP. He'll never win MVP.
Yeah, I agree. But that's what I'm saying, though. If he gets either one of those, he uproots Shaq as the better son.
No, I'm saying Charles Barkley.
I mean, yeah, something. Charles.
Barkley.
He is above Charles at that point as the best.
I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy. But then you got to fuck around and say how long KD gonna be there. KD there 4 or 5 years to bring a chip or two. But I don't think it's possible. But that's what I mean by because David Robinson had 70 points back in the day, right? I can definitely argue that David Robinson is the greatest something of all time. I can argue he's the greatest Spur of all time, even though Tim Duncan was there. David Robinson was great. No bullshit. He was great.
Oh yeah. I seen film.
Great. That nigga was great, bro.
Yeah.
Left-handed, could put that bitch on the floor, could shoot the midi. He one of them people that I'm sure if you look it up, he done had some 10, 15 block games. He was the shit.
Yeah, the Admiral. As a matter of fact, the one crazy thing about that was what DeAndre Ayton's biggest comp was coming out. It was David Robinson.
That's crazy to me.
It was David Robinson. A lot of people was like, oh, he's got the size, he's got the finesse. He can be a David Robinson type of player. And
that's crazy.
Just never panned out.
Yeah, they sleep to me. If they ever would have thought that about him. But even though I didn't see him coming out of college, I would have. I couldn't imagine it, bro. Oh damn! David Robinson scored 71 points on the last game of the season.
Yeah,
I wonder what that was for. Was they trying to get into the playoffs, or he just said, "Hey man, it's time"?
They was. As a matter of fact, I heard a story about this. Because I think they played the Hawks, right?
Let's see here. They played the Clippers.
They played the Clippers and Dominique was on the team because Dominique told a story about this. He was like this was his later years in the league,
right?
And they coach kind of pulled all the starters and was like, hey, look, San Antonio, they there, y'all are the Clippers. They need to win this game. We finna pull y'all out. And, let whoever guard David Robinson, I guess whoever was guarding David Robinson was not guarding David Robinson, and he torched them boys. But yeah, there's a story behind that.
Dominique was on this team. Yep.
Yeah.
Dominique had 16 points that night.
Yeah, they pulled him. They was like, look, bro, the Spurs are now, dog. Y'all are the Clippers. Come on.
Wow. Yeah. But 71 points in a game that they need, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. He was 18 to 25 from the free throw line. Damn. What a game. Yeah. What a game. What a game. What a game.
He was hooping on them boys.
But like I said, bro, anytime it was anybody back in the day that did something like score 70 points or some shit like that, I'm telling you, they was the nicest. Now I feel like anybody could score 50 or 60 points in a game, bro. And I don't love that. I don't.
How could you not, though, is what I'm saying, though. If we gone from everybody having to be a great to anybody on to the second best option on your team potentially having 60 or 70, Terrence Ross was putting up 50-point games when Kobe was still in the league. And it's just if you got players who can not constantly, but you got players from multiple teams that can just randomly go off on spurts like that, that means, in my opinion, that the NBA is in good hands. The NBA will never have to worry about having to have the best players of all time on one or two teams, and then the teams are around that. No, there's a few great players on a lot of teams, a few good players on a lot of teams that, are making sure that there is parity in the league. I like that.
That is a very good point. I talked about that shit for 10 minutes, and then you came with that, and I'm like, because I looked this up because I didn't like it so much. I was like, let me look up what the fuck going on, right? And one thing about that is literally what you said. Like, NBA players are shooting the highest percentage they ever have before. And that's just because they're just skilled. Like how at first you corrected yourself. You said, there's a few great players. Well, there's a few good. No, these niggas are great. They not all great in comparison to each other, but in comparison to what they do, they are all great. Like the people that you talk about that can score 40 points in a game, they great. They are great. There is no getting around it. So you're right. That is a good way to look at it. You're not lying, bro. I like that. I do. If I could get some of that physicality back into the game to mix with these great players that can score from anywhere and can shoot the ball at a high clip and make these impossible ass shots, I think I would be in a good place there. Also with LeBron and Steph and KD and them leaving the league and it getting kind of like a fresh start at the same time as these rules, I would like that. I would like that. Because the game is so spread out now because there's not really any bigs. That's how LeBron can continue to play. Because the game is so spread out and you can't really stop him from getting to the rack and shit like that. Like, he wouldn't really still be able to play if it was a big man's game. You know, he wouldn't. And it's just because there's bigs down there waiting for you to come down there. And then on top of that, the other team is running their offense through the big or whatever. Like, that kind of shit is over with. And I can say I don't really miss that. I don't really miss it being a big man's game. Yeah, I don't miss that. Even though I did love Shaq and all that, I don't miss that. And it's because you really are seeing some skills and some talent like that's like nothing else.
And like the game was slower.
Yes, I agree. But it was interesting to watch them be physical with each other, watch the post moves and shit down there, watch people double and them kick it out for big shots and shit like that. That was an interesting style of basketball too. And to watch a player like Shaq be so unstoppable was very interesting. And it's because there's never been a player like Shaq, and there never will never be another player like Shaq. Shaq and LeBron are the most unique players in NBA history.
Yeah, I agree. The physicality should come back. Maybe not full force. I don't want people clotheslining motherfuckers in the air, but you know, they definitely got to have some type. And I feel like even the physicality is rooted in player safety, right? Because remember after Kawhi got hurt from that Zaza play, like they started calling that a lot.
Yeah, I didn't like how he got hurt.
Yeah,
I agree with them.
They started calling that landing space. Yeah, they started calling that landing space a lot. So it was like most of these plays I feel are rooted in player safety. That's why I think that the flagrant can be relooked at because I don't see too many season-ending injuries off of a flagrant.
I feel like they disguise it as player safety. I don't really feel like it's player safety. Like I always say this in the NFL. They make all these rule changes, right? And then they say it's for player safety, right? But if shit is for player safety, even the players said this year, they just made it to where they can flex a Thursday night football game, right? And the players say Thursday night football shouldn't even exist. I play on Sunday. A physical ass sport, and then you're gonna ask me to get 3 days of rest and then play again on that fourth day. Like, what's the point of this? Like, why do I need to do this? And the reason is for money. We want to show a game on Sunday night. We want to show a game on Monday night. Then we want to fuck around and show a game on Thursday night. We want this shit. Like, they just sold Thursday Night Football to Amazon for however many $1 billion for it to be exclusive to Amazon. And Amazon look at it like shit. Y'all keep watching it over here. We'll tell you about Amazon Prime. We'll tell you about this. You'll get Amazon Prime. So yeah, we'll pay it. But the reason that Thursday Night Football exists is for money. So you can't tell me that you can focus on player safety when you can just not have them play a game 3 days after they just played a game. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like that shit is not for player safety. So you don't really care about player safety. And the same thing goes for the NBA. It's like you want player safety, but you was rushing us to go play again a few months after COVID and say, hey, we're doing 72 games. Yeah. And then if you got to get vaccinated, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. Like, y'all don't give a fuck about these motherfuckers. You feel me? So you disguising the rule changes because you just want to change them as player safety. It's the same as they say about load management. If you're worried about player safety, why do we even play back-to-backs? Just make us play less games. But you're not going to play less games because then you're going to make less money. So player safety is bullshit. so yeah. Am I lying?
No, silly me. I you know what? I fell for the trap because honestly, everything is for money, right? Like everything that happens is for the betterment of whoever is at the head. Like, if they can get they fatter pockets, they are okay with whatever the outcome.
Yes. So like hell, we enjoy doing this podcast, right?
Yeah.
If you ask me right now, are y'all gonna be doing this same podcast in 5 years? I'll say, shit, I don't fucking know. But if you told me that we'll be making a lot of money and then said, hey, will you be doing this podcast in 5 years? I'll be like, hell yeah, I know we're gonna be doing it. Unless they didn't put us in our grave, we're gonna be doing this in 5 years. You feel me? And so if money motivate us, you know it motivate the people that's really making it. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, y'all don't give a fuck about these players. Y'all don't, and that's cool. I get it.
That COVID point, yeah.
Yeah, but you're selling it to us.
They marched them right out there.
Yes, they marched them right out there. And it was like, hey, if you don't do this, this, and this, you ain't playing and we ain't paying you.
Yeah.
And these people with guaranteed contracts, they'll pay you if they cut you. But if you don't play right now, we ain't paying you. That's your option. You don't have to play if you don't want to, but we're not paying you.
Damn.
And that's what I would do if it was my company.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about returns at the end of the day.
And if it was my company, I would tell my customers, which is us, that we care about these guys. We want them to be safe. I would do exactly what they're doing. I wouldn't give a fuck about them. I would try to convince everybody that I do give a fuck about them, also I can make my money.
You can't be mad at that because everybody does it. That's just how the world turns, man.
Bro, I be talking to fellow employees. I be talking to people in real life. I'm like, yo, if you really just pay attention to how things work in America, like how people be saying, like, follow the money, you'll always get your answers. Like, I've had people where I came into work one time and I was smelling like weed when we was in training, right? And this girl said to me, she said, you smell like weed. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. And then she was like, well, why? I said, well, what are they going to do? I was like, for starters, I have a medical marijuana card so I can legally smoke. So all they can do is not like it. I said, but by the same token, I said, they pay us, right? We're in training class. They didn't pay us for 8 weeks, right? And we ain't took no calls. And they've been paying us for 8 weeks. I said, so when y'all was in there saying, well, what happens if I don't pass this test? What happens if we don't pass this test? I said, my answer to y'all every time was, you still gonna get on the floor and take calls. And I said, and that's because they paid you for 2 months and you haven't took no calls. The only way for them to get their money's worth out of you is if you take calls. So fail the test, smell like weed, do whatever the fuck. As long as you gonna come here every day in the right clothes, one day I'm putting you on that phone to take calls because I've been paying you for 2 months and your ass ain't took no calls. You feel me? No. You ain't stealing from the company. You ain't stealing time from the company. You're not showing up late. You're not causing the scene. You're not going to get fired. You're going to take the calls. This is what's going to happen. And that's how money works. So you might think, man, they're going to fire him because he smells like weed. Oh, man, they're going to fire him because he didn't pass the test for this and that. No, they're not. You're going to take them calls. And it's because I want my money back. I want my money back that I gave you. And the NBA and the NFL is no different.
Yeah.
It's no different. You know, and I was saying just to somebody recently, I said, yo, we so crazy in this country is that Nike will give LeBron James $1 billion for a lifetime deal. They'll give him $1 billion, right? And then we say, wow, Nike gave him $1 billion because he's LeBron James, right? And it's because they know if I give LeBron James $1 billion and LeBron James tell you to go buy his shoes, I'm going to make my money back.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that they would give LeBron James $1 billion is if they gonna make $1 billion. And it's because we gonna buy the shoes because LeBron said buy them.
Yeah.
You feel me? So the sports world is the most American thing that there is. And it's also why I be saying that the players are underpaid. A player like LeBron James is one of the most underpaid people to ever exist. And I've told this to people and they say, what? What? And I'm like, do you know how much money LeBron James makes the NBA?
Oh, right.
Like people say, oh, LeBron is a billionaire. LeBron James made the NBA $1 billion probably his first 2 or 3 years in the league.
Yeah, bro.
And if he's just now making $1 billion, he's underpaid. Great example I always give is if me and you say, hey, the Lakers are playing who are the Hornets now? Are they still the Hornets? They're the Bobcats? They're the Hornets,
yeah,
right?
Hornets, yeah.
All right, they're playing the Hornets, right? And we want to go to the game so we can see LeBron. So I'm saying, all right, I'm going to fly up there and we're going to go see the game. When I fly up there and I fly Delta's making money. And then I land and I take a taxi. Taxi's making money. Then I stay at a Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn is making money. And then we go and we pay for parking and we get a ticket. The Charlotte Hornets are making money, right? But how much money did Delta and the taxi and the Charlotte Hornets and the Holiday Inn give LeBron? They gave him zero. But me and you there to see LeBron. LeBron ain't make no money off of that. He ain't make no money off of that. So he's underpaid in so many ways.
Damn.
But that's why I don't be getting mad at these players when they take a knee, when they protest, when they say, if you don't pay me, I'm not going to play. When they say, hey, I don't like it here. I want to go to a different team. Yeah. I don't get mad at them. I don't. And it's because I get it.
Yeah, I've never tripped about that. Like, I don't mind that it's a players' league. I don't mind that the players who put their bodies on the line make decisions for them. Like, that's the one thing that, like, I can't be mad at. I can't be mad at that.
Never. But that's what's wrong with the leagues. Straight up. That's what's wrong with the leagues. Is that they're all players' leagues now. Like when, you know me, I'm a diehard Jacksonville Jaguars fan. When Jalen Ramsey demanded that he traded, and then when they didn't trade him, I literally said, if Jalen Ramsey keep marching out there on the field and playing, they're not going to trade him. So then everybody's like, oh, he faked an injury to get out of here. He sucks. I'm like, well, what y'all want him to do? Because if he keep playing, they're not going to trade him. Mm-mm. And if it was me, I wouldn't trade you if you kept playing either. I don't give a fuck if you want to be here.
You know, I don't give up. We good.
So it's like, I get it from both standpoints. If I'm the team, I don't trade you as long as you're going to play. Like when the Nets had Kyrie and KD, I swear to God, I used to say from jump, me and you had this talk, we just never put it out. I was like, I wouldn't trade them. And it's because you still under contract for 4 more years. There ain't nothing that you could do. You're not going to sit out for 4 years. You like basketball too much? I'm not going to trade you. Fuck you. You playing. You haven't played 1 second under the new contract that I just gave you. I'm not trading you. I'm not trading you. So that's why I understand why the players are how they are. It's just bad for us from a fan standpoint. And it's because, like I said, you won't die for the game no more. But the reason that they won't die for the game no more is because their employer won't die for them.
Yeah.
You know? The Memphis Grizzlies ain't came out and said, hey, we know Ja did this on social media, but we know the real Ja. He's a great person. He's a cornerstone to this franchise. We're not trading him. We're not kicking him out. We have his back. We're going to support him through this. Y'all have the wrong impression of Ja Morant. We believe in him. We trust him. We're behind him 100%. Have they said that?
No. Damn. Yeah, that's the least they could have did, I feel like.
Of course. Of course. But that never happens. When they do something, Nike don't never come out and say, we got their back.
No.
So I understand why they are how they are. You know, I understand why Kyrie said, hey, man, just everybody leave me alone. I understand why LeBron said, hey, y'all motherfuckers got to go back to living y'all life. I get all of it. I do. I get how Kevin Durant say, hey, man, fuck y'all. Y'all complain about me when I'm winning no rings. I'm finna go guarantee a ring. And I would like to play with them anyway.
Yeah.
So, hey, fuck y'all. And then when he done winning his rings over there, somebody say something to him he don't like, he like, man, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. Like, I get all of it, bro. And then he go to Brooklyn, he signed his new contract, and he like, hey, I ain't playing 1 second under this deal, but I don't like it here. Fuck this, I'm out of here. Yep. I get it from every standpoint. I get it. That's why I don't never fault him, but that's why the game ain't as great as it used to be.
Got a good point.
I'm telling you, bro. So that's why a lot of old people don't love the game. But they don't even know that's why. They blame it on the players.
Yeah,
but it's not the players' fault.
That. It's really not the players' fault. It's
not the players' fault.
It's the way the game is played. Because anybody could look at these players and say that these players, skill-wise, are leagues better than the ones in the past. Like, just
it's not even close.
from the top to bottom, right? Like, I'm not saying the stars are better now than they were then, but like from top to bottom, the players are better than they were back in the day.
They're better. Like, it's always unfair to do this, but I used to always say this. If you took Dirk Nowitzki as he is and you put him in the NBA in 1985, he would have been the best player of all time. And it's because he's 7 foot tall. He can shoot threes. He can play in the post. He can put the ball on the ground. Like, there's nobody that would have been able to stop him. It's like, all right, Michael Jordan was in the league at that time, but Dirk Nowitzki's 7 feet tall and he can shoot threes. Nobody would have been able to stop him. But it's unfair to take him as he is and put him in 1985. That's why it's unfair to compare the eras. Because it's the same thing. If I take 6'8", 265-pound LeBron and I put him as he is in 1985, he would average 70 or 80 points.
Yeah.
And you can be as physical as you want. You can clothesline him. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Nobody would be able to stop him.
Yeah. After you get to a certain point, it's kind of like, there's no real use in comparing eras, but like, you just gotta know that these players have evolved, because that's just what the game does.
That's what life does.
That's what life does. Yeah.
And then, then I also say the same thing about Michael Jordan. I say, if I take Michael Jordan from 1985 and I give him all the technological advances and shit that we have today, and I put him in the NBA in 2010, he would be the greatest player of all time. And it's because I say, he was so far ahead of those people that was ahead of that he was ahead of back then. If he's that far ahead of these guys, he's gonna fucking make every shot. You know. But what I say about Michael Jordan for real is he's the most ahead of his time player of all time. He was ahead of his time for real. Like, his game looked like the game of people today.
Yeah, he definitely transcended. You know, it's funny. Somebody had a like compilation of like Michael Jordan reverse layups, and they was just like, "Bro, Jamal Murray just did that on Tuesday." Like it's like all of LeBron, like all of Mike crazy like layups.
I saw that. Yes,
people like Jalen Brunson do those.
Oh yeah,
on a nightly. So it's kind of like that's just how the game has become.
Yes.
But that speaks to your point that Michael Jordan was just that far ahead of his
time. Yes. Because even when you see these layups, you can say, oh, Jamal Murray did it on a Tuesday, but it's fascinating when either one of them do it.
Yeah, for sure. It looks fire as fuck. Like, that'll always be a clean ass layup, no matter what era.
Yes, and that's the crazy shit about it. Yeah. Like, I always say when I be saying that Kyrie, I got to talk about why Kyrie's my favorite player in the NBA, even though I be bashing him. But when I be talking about Kyrie being the most talented basketball player of all time, which I also believe this, the way that he finishes at the rim is like nothing else. Mm-hmm. He can literally finish at the rim with either hand over people, around people. The English is crazy. He'll throw it off this side of the backboard. That motherfucker will spin and go straight in. And it's just like, wow. Or sometimes he'll throw it to where it hang on the rim for a little bit. And then that bitch will drop in. I'm like, yo, Kyrie, you are something else, man. I literally think Kyrie is the most talented basketball player of all time. I don't think he's the most talented NBA player. I think he's the most talented player to ever pick up a basketball, bro.
I'm not mad at that. And as a matter of fact, I just had this talk with Corey. Like, he was telling me, we were talking about the best players who are able to finish under the rim. So we were saying the best under the rim player is Kyrie Irving, followed closely by Stephen Curry. Like, I think Kyrie is just, when it comes to under the ball, like, them two motherfuckers, the way they put shots up, like, around the basket, that's some of the best under the basket play that I've ever seen in my entire life. But Kyrie is
when Corey gonna be on the show?
One. Shit, man, whenever.
All right, we got to get that done. But yeah, Kyrie's something else. But the reason that Kyrie is my favorite player, I don't even know how Kyrie became my favorite player, bro. I think a lot of it has to do with Kyrie did, you did say this. You did say the Kobe connection, but Kyrie did something that I kind of seen that Kobe did, but he just did it in a different way, is that he accomplished some things and then he grew up to just not give a fuck about what you think about him. And to me, Kyrie, like, he got to the point where he was really like, I'll say some things and I'll explain some things, but at the end of the day, and it's even overboard a little bit for me with Kyrie, but Kyrie genuinely just doesn't give a fuck about what people think about him anymore. And I like that Kyrie is into that whole, I want to be a better version of myself. I want to figure out things. I want to be proud to be who I am. I want to be proud to be black. I want to think deep. I want to figure out things. I want to say things like, I understand that I'm not anything special, but I want to be great. I want to be a beacon of positivity. I just like it that he's like that. And then I just like that he's so talented. And I like that he does things like go on Twitch and talk to regular people. How he says things like, if you meet me in real life, I'd rather you want to have a conversation with me than take a picture with me. And I'm that kind of person. Like I even tell people all the time, when I met Jalen Ramsey, who was my favorite player at the time, my favorite Jaguar at the time, I didn't ask him for no autograph. I asked him, because this was the Saturday before he got traded. I asked him, hey, are you playing on Sunday? Because I want to go to the game. And he was like, huh? Like, no, I'm not playing. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to the game.
Oh, you had
nice to meet you.
Insider.
Yeah. I told all my friends, I said, hey, Jalen Ramsey's never playing for the Jaguars ever again. Word. They were like, how do you know? I said, I just seen him at the store. And I asked him. And I was like, and when I asked him, was he playing? I said, he kept it so real that he didn't tell me he wasn't playing because he don't fucking know me. But he said, huh.
Yeah. You really what that means.
Exactly. And I was like, oh, well, I ain't going to the game then. And then I dapped him and I told him it was nice to meet you. He said, it's nice to meet you too. And then he just left. And I could tell he thought it was interesting that I didn't ask him for a picture. You feel what I'm saying? So when Kyrie says that, I'm like, I like that because I'm that type of person. I would rather say what's up to you and see if you would want to talk to me, even though I'm not the type of person that would take up a lot of your time, but I don't want to take a picture with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't mean nothing to me. So I like that kind of shit about how Kyrie thinks. It's like this. I like that Kyrie thinks, even though I disagree with him often. I like that he thinks, and then he's just so talented. But like I said, would I trade D'Angelo Russell, Hachimura in a first rounder for Kyrie Irving? Fuck no.
Hell nah.
You know?
Yeah, that shit did.
So yeah. But yeah, that's why Kyrie's my favorite player. I just like him.
It makes sense. Like everything that you said from like the mentality and from the skill set, it's undeniable. Kyrie has been a very skilled player ever since he came in the league. And like we was talking about earlier, I don't think there's any noticeable decline either. Like we've seen players, Russell Westbrook, we've seen players who just, you know, have taken a step. I think my like you said, the best basketball player is Kyrie in your opinion. I think the best basketball player is Kevin Durant. But we've seen a step back, right? Like we've seen due to injuries, KD not be the same KD. We have not seen that from Kyrie. So if anybody were to say that Kyrie was their best basketball player or their favorite, I wouldn't have any problem with that.
Okay, like how you just said, I say that Kyrie is the most skilled basketball player or talented basketball player of all time. If you say the best basketball player I ever seen is KD, that's not crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's not crazy to me. That's like how I be saying shit like to me, Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. Like already. You feel what I'm saying? Like Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. And then if you say to me, Tom Brady is the GOAT, I'm not going to argue that because it's the same reason I won't argue that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Your resume said you the GOAT. How much you won, your numbers say you the GOAT. I heard Chris Broussard say, Jordan is the only person that dominated statistically and won. He was like, Wilt Chamberlain got all these statistics, but he only won 2 rings. And he said, and then Bill Russell got 11 rings, but he don't got all the statistics. He was like, Jordan, the only person that got both. And I was like, Jordan is the only person that got both. Like, motherfucker averaged 30 a game. Nobody else is averaging 30 a game for their career. You know, because you could even talk about what he did in Washington or whatever, but those average until he still averaged 30 a game.
Yeah.
For his career. And then he has 6 championships and all that. You know what I'm saying? Also, another thing that I like about Kyrie is Kyrie gave me the confidence to say something that I always say. And Kyrie said, to me, he kept saying, to me, Kobe Bryant is the greatest basketball player of all time. And he says, and that's to me. And I say, that is my best explanation for why Kobe is the greatest basketball player of all time. It's literally to me. And it's literally on some, when I watch you play, I feel like you're better than anybody else that I watch play. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You know, I can speak about something from both ends of the spectrum and take out some, I feel like I can take out all of it, but my fandom. Just how, like, I say, Kyrie's my favorite player in the league. Hell no, I wouldn't trade these players for him. You know what I'm saying? It's how I can say, to me, Kobe's the greatest player of all time. But if you tell me why Jordan or LeBron is, I can easily agree with you. You know what I'm saying? To say, I view it differently from you, but yeah. You
You know, and I heard some guys talking about it with on All the Smoke, I think it was. They were saying we just live in an age where if you love Kobe, you can't love Jordan, and if you love Jordan, you can't love LeBron. If you love LeBron, you can't love Jordan. I feel that way for sure because out of the three of them, Jordan is probably my least favorite player out of the three of them. But I don't have no problem saying he the best one out of the three of them. Even though I used to be a LeBron hater, I like what LeBron stands for more than I like what Michael Jordan stands for. And when Michael Jordan was coming up, I was rooting for Reggie Miller, and then I was rooting for Shaq and Penny. Like, I wanted him to lose.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's been times where I was rooting for LeBron to win because I hated the Spurs or I hated the Warriors.
That's how
like, there was never a time. Yeah, there was never a time I was rooting for Jordan to win.
Damn.
Never. I was a Reggie Miller fan.
Really?
Yeah, huge Reggie Miller fan.
Okay.
Like, my game was like Reggie Miller. Like, people said I looked like Reggie Miller.
I'm about to say, is that because y'all light skinned?
I don't know, but I always loved Reggie Miller, man. Like, I was like, I like a nigga that shoot threes and don't give a fuck that everybody hates. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want Reggie Miller to win.
Hype, you still hooping?
Man, no, bro. I wish I was, bro. I haven't really, no bullshit, bro. I've been out of hooping shape since before I was 30.
What? Really?
No bullshit. Like, if I got in shape, I could still hoop.
Of course.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm still on some, you know what I'm saying? Like I always say, I'm LeBron age. So I'm not crazy. I'm like, yeah, I could go hoop if I wanted to, if I got back in shape. Yeah. But that's my problem. I can go out there and hit 5 threes in a row right now.
But you ain't running no court.
Bruh, we start playing the game, you be like, damn, how you have all them threes you're hitting. I'm like, nigga, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So, and when I'm tired, I can't shoot no more. So I'm not no good, bro. I'm too old. And it's not even myself. It's what I allow myself to get to. Like, I still lift weights and all that, but I'm not in basketball shape no more.
No, I feel you. I'm actually at the point where I'm still trying to go to the court just so when I do hit 30, I feel comfortable still stepping out there.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable. Like, I have to be playing with my homeboy for 2 or 3 weeks before I feel comfortable on some regular open run.
I feel
like,
you.
No.
I just had to ask.
Nah, man. When the last time you hooped?
I think 2 weeks ago. As a matter of fact, when I went down to go see Corey and for my birthday, Corey. So Corey, he always been like little bro. So he like, oh, I'm a next time you come in town, I'm gonna show you what's up. So before that, he came up here and seen me, bro. We went to the court. I'm like, hey, bro, I gotta show you this court is fire. He like, all right, let's run something then. I'm like, well, shit, you ain't said nothing.
Right.
Bro dusted me. I'm talking about something. We ran 4 games 1-on-1, bro. Bro beat me 4 straight games, bro. I was like, bro, I wasn't hitting shit. I was like, bro, have I literally, like, I thought to myself, I was like, damn, bro.
Am I old?
Am I old? Did I become washed?
That nigga that hit the wall and shit.
Dog, this was January. So last week I go down there and he like, hey, bro, I know you want your rematch. I know he talking cash shit. Like, hey, bro, it's cool if you want to go to the court. I know if I lost like you lost, I would do it too. So he on one. So I'm like, all right, bet we'll run some. So we play again. And now we on his court, so he know these courts. As a matter of fact, the 3-point line, the 3-point line a little further. Like, in college, how that line a little, it's brown there. So I'm like, all right, I gotta get acclimated. Bro won the first game. And I'm like, damn, we ain't finna start this shit again, bro. I'm thinking he gonna go 3 more. So I get the next game. He like, oh, so now we tied. We gotta go for the tiebreaker. I get the next game. So at this point, his pride talking. He like, all right, bro, run again because you're not gonna win 3 straight. So I was like, okay. Bro, we played and I won on like a shot. I told him the shit was going in before it went in. So he was like, bro, ain't no way. So, and then after like, we can lace him up again. He was like, no, we good, bro. We'll play next time.
You had to Kawhi him, bro.
Bro. I had to go out. I had to go out with a bang. So,
look,
yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
You need to do like my older brother and shit. He beat me the last time we played like 10 years ago. He like, I'll never give you a rematch. Word? So I keep pretending like I don't remember. I'm like, no, I don't even remember the game you talking about. Word. I'm like, run me back. But yeah, bro, it sounds like your time is coming though.
Nah, for sure. That's why I got to stay out there. It can't be.
How old is he now?
He'll be 26 this year. He'll be 26.
Oh,
so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He ain't that much younger than you.
No, that's what I mean though. And he taller than me now. Like he done been taller than me for the last 2 years. So I'd say since he got out of high school, he been taller than me for real.
You're done, bro.
That's what I mean. So I'm gonna just take them wins as they come. So I might have to do like man. Your brother and say, hey, bro. Look.
Right? Man, you know you can't beat me. I beat you last time, man. I ain't playing you no more,
That's
man.
just how it go.
All right, so this is what we're going to end on, man. We're going to get back to modern basketball. Okay. All right? So we both got the Celtics not coming back from 3-0.
Yeah.
All right? Jokic said he finna go drink beer and watch his friend race horses or something in Italy. That's how long they got off.
Yeah.
So, Nuggets versus, we're going to say the Heat. Who wins and how many games?
I got the Nuggets in 6.
Me too. Like I'm saying, they probably should finish them in 5, but I'm gonna put some respect on the Heat name, and I'm gonna say the Nuggets in 6.
Yep.
All right. Last question. The Celtics are the first team ever to come back from 3-0. They win in Game 7. The Celtics play the Nuggets. Who wins and in how many games?
Nuggets in 6.
Same way. Whoever go get it in 6.
Whoever go to the Nuggets is losing the 6 games.
If the Celtics play the Nuggets, I feel like the Celtics have home court.
How?
I feel like they had a better record.
Did they?
I feel like they did.
Let me confirm.
I feel like the Celtics won 57 games and the Nuggets won 53.
Okay.
And does the seed matter, or does it go by the best record when you get to the finals? On who?
I thought it was a record. I mean, I thought it was seeding.
Yeah, I thought it was seeding. I thought it was record. Oh no, yeah, the Celtics won 57 games and the Nuggets won 53. I was right.
Damn.
Yes.
All right. So now
I feel like the Celtics would have home court, bro.
That's so weird. If the
Celtics have. It is.
You should do it by seeding, bro. If we're doing everything else by seeding, at this point, it should just be seeding.
Nah, it should be by records. And it's because my seeding was based on my conference. Your seeding was based on your conference. We really don't got nothing to do with each other.
But you're saying record is definitely league-wide.
Yes. And they should make it to where the playoffs is 1 through 16. Where one plays 16, bro.
1 through 16?
It shouldn't be no East. Yeah, it shouldn't be no East and West. It should be all jumbled up once you get to the playoffs. 1 through 16. Where 1 play 16, 2 play 15, 3 play 14. That's how it should be. No Eastern Conference, no Western Conference.
I'm not mad at that, but when you think about how it's structured, like when you think about like berths and stuff like that, like if a team beat this team, because if you're in a division, if you're in a conference, you have divisions. So in those divisions, It's kind of like if you got the best out of this team the more times, you are not only above them in the conference, but also in the division if y'all do come back together and play within that conference. I don't know how you have that if it's 1 through 6.
You don't change. You don't change nothing. It's 1 through 16. Like, oh, I get what you're saying, like the tiebreakers and shit like that.
Yeah, like how does that play into effect?
How would the tiebreaker would go to who has the best head-to-head record when y'all played each other. Yeah, that's how it works. The tiebreaker go to who had the best head-to-head, and then if it's tied there, it's who got the best division, and then if it's tied there, it's who got the best conference. Yeah, same shit. Like in football and shit. Yeah, it should be 1 through 16, bro. That'll be hard, man. That'll be hard.
But even in football, it's divisions, though, right? Like divisions and conferences.
Yeah, but the same thing is if you meet up with somebody that's in a different division than you, right?
Right.
Like in your division is who got the best head-to-head, then who got the best division record. So like if both teams finish 10-7, all right, who had the best head-to-head? Your team, all right, y'all the 1 seed, and my team the 2 seed. That's how it should be. You know, and every team play each other in the NBA, so y'all gotta have something.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I'm with it. I think that would be better. It's just, I'm sure they're not going to do that now because the Western Conference player and the Eastern Conference player or whatever is new.
Yeah, the trophies.
That shit dumb.
That shit is whack.
That shit dumb. Yeah, that shit dumb. Like, no bullshit. That shit corny. But that's just because the NBA want to have more records. They want to have more statistics. They want to have, they just want more, man. They want to have more everything. You know, it's all about the bread, man.
That shit lame.
It is. It's lame. Anyway, man, I'm up out of here, man. We up out of here. It's interesting to see what happens next. Looks like we both got the Nuggets winning it no matter what. Oh, I didn't even get my predictions. My predictions are pretty much the same as yours, but I'm saying the Celtics beat the Nuggets if they go.
Damn. All right.
I say the Celtics beat the Nuggets if it's what we think and they have home court.
As if they have home court.
Yeah, even though they're shitty at home for some reason.
Yeah.
but if there was a time to start winning at home, bro, it's got to be the damn finals.
You would think.
If they go to the finals, that should be back-to-back years. If they go back-to-back years and they lose, I'm sorry, bro.
Well, because last year, I'm pretty sure they had a better record than the Warriors, because the Warriors were like, what are the Warriors, like fifth or something?
Yeah, that was a fifth seed, I'm pretty sure.
So they had home court advantage then. So I just don't know if home court advantage means jack shit to the Celtics at this point.
You just can't trust them, boy, man. That's the problem with them, man.
I cannot.
But this will prove also that the LeBron is the only person we penalize for going to the finals and losing. The Celtics will be penalized if they go to the finals and lose. They will be attacked more than if they lose right now. If they lose right now, people will say, blah, blah, blah. If they make it to the finals and they lose again, everybody's going to say they need to break that team up and they're going to marry that idea.
I don't disagree with the fact that people are going to say that they should break it up, but I don't think they will be as heavily scrutinized as any of those LeBron teams.
No, agreed. They will not be as heavily scrutinized as LeBron, but they will be scrutinized. More if they make it and don't win. I promise.
Yeah, we gotta have that. We gotta have those honest talks about Jason Tatum too.
Yeah, we do. First team All Pro. Yeah, first team. Yeah, first team. First team All NBA.
All NBA. Yeah.
All NBA. So that means you're a top 5 player in the league. You know. Anyway, we're out of here. We'll be back very, very soon. Our predictions have been real hit or miss for the most part. I definitely did take Nuggets and Heat before the series started. I don't feel as good. I really do feel like the Celtics might pull this off, bro. I really do. Even though I said Heat in 6. When it's 3-2, it don't matter that you used to be down 3-0.
No.
It don't.
Now it just matters if you can win 4 straight.
No, it doesn't. It matters if you can win 2 straight. The other 2 they won, they already did
won. I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
You feel me? That's in the past. Like, in the big picture, what you're saying is correct. But today, you only need to win 2 straight. That means something, bruh. I don't think they out of it, man. I think they have a real shot at pulling this off. To be completely honest with you, that's my prediction for real. That's my real
Celtics
prediction.
Will win.
Is that the Celtics will be the first team ever to come back from 3-0. I truly believe that.
If they do, that will probably cushion the blow if they happen to lose against the Nuggets.
Nah,
but if they do, that might give them the confidence that they need to beat the Nuggets.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I think the Celtics are about to win the championship.
Oh, okay.
And remember, the Celtics were my last place team when I said how much I believe in the 4 teams
that are left. Yeah.
I picked the Celtics last, but I can only go off what my eyes are showing me, man.
Yeah.
And my eyes are telling me that the Celtics finna turn this whole thing around on a dime. And that's crazy.
For my sanity, I hope you're not right, but me
too. I do not want the Celtics to win, bruh. Like, I want the Heat to win, so I want the Heat to beat this team and the Nuggets. But dog, I tell you in my heart of hearts, if you want my true prediction from what I feel right now from watching the game, is that the Celtics are for sure gonna beat the Heat, and that they got a shot at beating the Nuggets. That's truly what I feel. Like I'm saying, book it that the Celtics are gonna beat the Heat.
I'm not mad, man. I feel like that's legit. From what we've seen, it can happen. I don't see it.
I don't want that to happen, bro. But yes, that's what I say. And again, I think it's ridiculous to say you're about to sweep a team that beat you 3 times in a row, because that's what you need to do. You need to sweep them. You need to beat them 4 games in a row, and your house, my house, the whole thing. And that's a hard task. It's just what my eyes are telling me. My eyes are telling me that the Celtics are going to come back and beat them.
We'll see.
But I picked Heat in 7. So if nothing else, that might be where we heading. You know what I'm saying? Heat in 7. I don't know. It's just my eyes are telling me that they're going to come back and win. That's all I'm saying. Anywho, we up out of here. I'm not rooting for the Celtics to do that. I'm just telling you what my heart and my eyes tell me, man.
I feel it.
But we out of here, man. We gone.
All right, man. Deuces.
You know it.